What we're going to cover for you today is some awesome updates on Motorola, and then we want to go over EBP steps to make your life a lot easier, get rid of the tablets, and get those sales done within 10 minutes. So with that said, I'll pass it over to John Hicks from Motorola. John, take it away.
Hey, thank you so much for having me, you guys. I appreciate it. And today, what I wanted to talk about is the brand new Moto G Stylus 5G. Hopefully, you guys are seeing this in your stores. It's an incredible device. I'm using this one myself right now. Here's mine, if you can see my video. I really do use this phone on my personal line, and I've been extremely impressed with it, having been used it for the past 6 weeks or so. But we got incredible speeds and feeds on here, features where you can really let your creativity free, and some awesome features for living that make it a really handy phone. So speed is going to be the first thing we're going to talk about. We got incredible speeds on here, especially with 5G. It's right in the title, Moto G Stylus 5G, and you're going to be able to stream anything you want without lag time, mobile gaming, no problem. If you want to share files with your colleagues or with your friends or family, you're going to be able to do that no matter what, whether you're connected to, the Boost network or to Wi-Fi. 5G speeds are incredible, much faster than 4G, and you really won't have to worry about, hey, am I going to be able to download this fast enough? Am I going to be able to download this movie, before I get on the airplane or whatever the case may be? 5G is going to be able to handle anything you're throwing at it as far as speeds go. And not only do we have great speeds, from the network, we've got incredible hardware underneath the hood of this phone too. So we've got a great processor from Qualcomm. It's an octa-core processor, and we've got PC grade RAM in here, so your multitasking is going to be super snappy too. So if you're jumping back and forth between apps, maybe you're texting someone, going to social media, watching something on YouTube, and you're jumping back and forth between your apps, you're not going to notice that lag in performance at all. Now, if you've heard me talk about Motorola phones in the past, you'll know this is my favorite thing to talk about is battery life. So we've sort of been synonymous with battery life for almost a decade now. We've been putting huge batteries into our flagship phones. And just over the past year and a half, we started putting huge batteries into our entry-level and mid-tier phones as well. This Moto G Stylus 5G, I definitely call it an upper mid-tier phone. You've obviously got 5G built in, some other great features, which we'll go over in a little bit, and you've got a 5,000 milliamp hour battery. This is over 2 days of battery life. So imagine talking to your customers and telling them, this is the phone where you don't have to charge it over the weekend. You charge it up on Friday afternoon, then you're good until Monday morning, no problem. And you can legit do that with this device. You don't have to worry about, your phone dying in the middle of whatever you're doing. Now, when it is time to charge, this does feature rapid charging too. So you're able to get hours of power in just minutes of being plugged in. Let's talk about the stylus. That's the other part that's right into the name of the phone, Moto G Stylus 5G. And there's so many things you can do with this stylus. If you want to take notes, edit photos, do creative things with your photography. I like copying and pasting text with it. A lot of people don't talk about that, but it's so much easier to do with a stylus than with just using your finger or marking up screenshots. So in the example here, you can see this lady is taking a photo that she took and making some creative artistic touches to it. I'm not a real artistic person, but there's a lot of people that are, and this is just one of the great things you can do with this. This is something that I do a little bit more, is editing screenshots or editing photos, drawing on them. We've got a great screenshot editor, built into our devices. And now with Moto G Stylus 5G, we've actually got a circle crop, which you can see in the image on the right here. This is great for making profile pictures that you can use on social media or maybe some of the work platforms that you might use. So you've got that circle right there, really, really easy. Or, of course, taking notes, right? That is one of the most popular things that people do with their stylus. We do have an app called Moto Note that comes pre-installed on this phone. One thing that's great about Moto Note is you can take your stylus out of the device with the screen being locked still, and it'll launch a new note for you. And you can draw right on the screen, take your note really quickly without having to unlock your phone and then going and find the app that you want. It's going to let you take a note with the phone being locked. Now, you're not going to be able to access anything else on the phone until you unlock it, for security reasons, but you're able to take that note super quickly. And then once you unlock your phone, you can go open up that note, edit it, share it, whatever you need to do. And that's using the Moto Note app. Now, the stylus works very well with other popular note-taking apps too. Google Keep is a popular one. That's actually the one that I use, and it works beautifully with that. You can use a stylus, you know, or the on-screen keyboard, whatever is convenient for you. So you can draw, you know, you can draw a picture, use your handwriting, whatever is convenient for you. Evernote and other note-taking apps work well with the stylus too. Now, in addition to having 5G and the stylus, the first thing that people notice, you know, when they look at any cell phone is going to be that screen. Hey, does it have a big screen or is it a small screen? We've got a huge screen on this phone, 6.8 inches. It's a max vision, full HD plus display. That's a long way of saying it's big and it's beautiful. When you guys activate one of these and take a look at the screen, you'll be like, wow, that's bright. That's a really sharp picture. It's an incredible screen on here. Great for not just taking notes like we talked about before, but viewing your photos, streaming your videos on Netflix or Hulu or Google Play, however you stream your videos. You're going to be able to do that without buffering because of those 5G speeds that you get with this too. Or just looking at your photos or playing games. You know, this phone is going to be able to handle gaming, you know, a lot better than some of the others that are out there because of the 5G speeds and the great hardware that we put into the device. So having that bigger screen is definitely great for gaming. You're going to be able to see more gameplay, you know, than you can on some of the smaller phones that are available. I'll talk briefly about our cameras here. We put an incredible camera on the front and back. You know, on the front, we've got a 16 megapixel selfie camera. Everybody takes selfies nowadays, so gone are the days of the 2, 3, 5 megapixel cameras up front. We've got a full 16 megapixel camera there. And then we've got 4 lenses on the back, including a 48 megapixel main sensor. We've got a depth sensor, macro vision lens, and ultra wide. And I'll go into a little bit of details on what you can do with the camera here. So that 48 megapixel main sensor is going to allow you to take beautiful pictures no matter what the lighting situation is, based on something called quad pixel technology. It's going to let more light into the sensor no matter how much or how little or the different types of light you have. So if you're outdoors, you know, sunlight like in the picture here, it's going to look great. If you're indoors or fluorescent lighting, still going to have great pictures too. And then, of course, we've got that ultra wide lens, and that gives you a whole lot more picture, not just left and right, but up and down too. So you can see the comparison here. So the picture on the right, beautiful photo, you know, crisp, great colors. But when you use the ultra wide, you capture so much more. You know, you can see, I can't tell where she's sitting. I can't tell if this is indoors or outdoors. It looks sort of funky, but you can see so much more of the picture, you know, using that ultra wide lens. And it is great for taking pictures, you know, of your landscapes and your cityscapes, but also just anytime you want to fit more into the picture, the ultra wide lens works fantastic. Now I mentioned that we've got the depth sensor on there. That's primarily used for your portrait mode. So you can see in the picture on the left, we've got portrait mode on, where our subject is in crystal clear focus. She looks great, and then the background is perfectly blurred. As we're on the right, she still looks great there, but you don't have that blurred background effect. Now, a lot of phones will do portrait mode using software. It'll take a picture similar to the one on the right and then digitally blur the background, you know, using software on the phone. That works, but it works so much better when you actually do it using hardware. So that's why we put a dedicated lens for doing cool features like this portrait mode. We put that right on the device. We've also got a feature called night vision. This utilizes that quad pixel technology that I mentioned, where you can take the light that's there and really extrapolate it so you can take a better looking photo at night. And you can see the difference between night vision being on and off in these photos on the screen here. If you look on the left side, you can't even tell that you've got that sports field down there. I can't tell that. You just see a couple little lights. Now on the right, this looks like it is so much brighter. You can see the details of everything that's going on the sports field, the buildings in the background, and you can actually tell what you're looking at. As we're on the left, you can't. This is an awesome feature, and we've got AI in the phone that will suggest when you should turn it on. So it takes the guesswork out of it for you. So if you're like me and you like taking pictures, but you're not a great photographer, the phone's got you covered. You know, it's going to let you know when to turn on cool features like this. Other cool camera features, this uses that depth sensor as well as spot color. With this, you can select one color to leave alone. So we left that pinkish orange color alone here, and everything else goes to black and white. And this is, a lot of fun. It makes for some really creative shots, and you don't have to be a professional photographer to get them. If you're demoing this in boost stores, pick the color orange. You got a lot of orange around, and have everything else go to black and white. It makes for a really compelling demo. Now we've also got something called dual capture video. This is brand new, so you can use both cameras at once to record video. This is awesome for people that share content online, YouTubers, if they want to show, their face, and it doesn't have to take up half the screen. You can have that front-facing camera just being a small image in the corner. So if you want your face small in the corner while you're talking to your audience and showing off something else with the other camera, you can do that. And to my knowledge, there's no other phones on the market that have this feature built in. And like I mentioned before, we've got a great camera up front, 16 megapixels for your selfies. So everyone takes selfies nowadays, whether they want to admit it or not. So we put a great camera up front too, not just on the rear of the phone. This device has a huge amount of storage, 128 gigabytes. And if that's not enough for your customers, you can add a SD card up to 1 terabyte too. So tons of storage available for your photos and videos, also for all your app data and really whatever you need to hold in here. This should be more than enough for 99.9% of your customers. Gone are the days where we've got phones with 16 gigabytes of storage and people are coming in a couple months later saying, hey, I ran out of room. Don't have to worry about that with this phone. And this phone, we also like to call it worry-proof. It's got a water-repellent nano coating on it called Splash Guard. It's sort of like Rain-X, but for your phone. It's something we bake on at the factory. It covers the entire exterior of the phone and the internal circuit boards as well. If any splashes or spills occur, the water just beads up and rolls off. So you don't have to worry about it. Now, this does not mean that you should go scuba diving or swimming with your phone. It's not designed for that. But if someone spills their coffee on your device or you get caught in a rainstorm while you're talking on the phone, no worries. Everything's going to be just fine. Just pick up the phone, shake it off, and everything is going to be okay. So my UX allows you to really make the phone your own. You can customize not just your wallpaper on your lock screen and home screen, but you can change your font size. You can change the menu colors. You can even change the shapes of the icons on the screen if you want. So if you don't want circles, you want squares instead for your icons, you can do that and really make this phone your own. Another way to express yourself, we put a really cool color on this phone. We call it Cosmic Emerald. That's a fancy way of saying it's green. I really like the color. You can see mine here. Maybe that shows up better than on the screen. I think it looks beautiful. If your customers don't happen to like the Cosmic Emerald color for whatever reason, by all means, let's sell them a case and make it whatever color they like. But I think this color looks really sharp. A lot better than just a traditional black or white phone, in my opinion. I'm not going to read this whole screen to you guys, but I just wanted to remind you, we've got a great lineup at Boost right now. We've got Moto G Play as our entry level, great deal on add-a-lines for that too. Moto G Power, which is a step up from that, and we will have a great deal on add-a-lines on this later this month, so keep an eye out for that. And of course, we've got Moto G Stylus. This is our top-selling phone we've ever had at Boost Mobile, ever. So thank you guys for pushing those things out the door. We've seen tons of sales on Moto G Stylus, and we just launched Moto G Stylus 5G, which is the device we've just been talking about. Hopefully, we'll see a lot of sales of this from the dealer owners I've talked to over the past week or so. They're seeing a lot of success with this device as well. Again, here's all the specs on the screen. I'm not going to read this to you guys. If anyone wants a copy of this whole presentation, feel free to send me a text or an email. I'll be more than happy to send it out. I'll have my contact information on the screen in a minute here. And hopefully you guys are familiar with Moto Insiders. This is our online training platform. You can go to motoinsiders.com or you can get it on the Google Play Store or now in the Apple App Store as well. If you're new to Moto Insiders, when you register, please use the referral code that's on the screen here. It's JD9BG. This will give you 300 bonus points just for registering when you use that code. Also, it verifies your employment as working with Boost automatically. That way you don't have to send in a pay stub or anything like that. With Moto Insiders, we give you all sorts of education on the products, and you get points for everything you do. Every piece of training that you participate in, you get points. Also, you can get points when you sell our products. A lot of people don't realize that. So if you guys are selling our products in the store, you can go on Moto Insiders, register that sale, and we give you bonus points for that. I know you're selling our phones. We're having an incredible year at Boost, so you might as well get some free stuff while you're at it. And we also do lots of promos through Insiders, and we've got one going on right now. It goes until August 1st. So if you haven't done this yet, by all means, jump on and participate. If you do the small mini training for Moto G Stylus 5G, we're going to give you a t-shirt, whatever size you want. It's not a raffle or anything. You're just going to get the t-shirt. And then you get to spin a wheel for a second prize. How sweet is that? 2 prizes for doing 1 training. Now, if you go through the expert training, takes a little bit longer, does a deeper dive into the phone, you're going to get to spin a bigger digital wheel for some bigger prizes, including TVs, gift cards, all sorts of stuff. So you really have an opportunity to win 3 prizes here if you participate in both trainings. So again, make sure you go to motoinsiders.com or download the app onto your phone. And again, my name is John Hicks. I'm our channel lead for our North Central region. I'm happy to support anyone in the country, though. If there's anything I can do to help out with your store locations, feel free to give me a call or an email. Don't think that you're bugging me at all. My job is to help you guys be successful. My cell phone number is right there on the screen. So is my email. My email is super simple. It's just Hicks, my last name, at Motorola.com. And thank you guys so much. I appreciate you joining and learning about our new device.
Thank you, John. Yeah, I mean, that phone right there, 128 gigabytes of storage. It's a no-brainer. We should be selling this all day. How long has it been since we had an affordable device with that much storage? You guys have 3 days left on the free, then it's going to jump up. But even when it jumps up, 128 gigs of storage for under $100, you cannot beat on a port-in pricing. So let's make sure we crank these devices out. And thanks again for your help and your time. All right, so let me present over here. Let me know when you guys can see my screen.
We've got it.
All right. All right, guys, so I'm going to hop in. I've got about 10, 12 minutes left here. I want to go over the quickest way for you guys to get your EBB sales. There's a new method out there. Hopefully you guys are incorporating it in your stores already, because you can get a sale out in as little as 10 minutes if you follow these procedures. So what I have up on the screen right now are our July priorities, just so we don't forget. We are focusing on family plans and, yep, can you hear me?
We're seeing an email, not an
You're not seeing my screen. Okay, 1 second. Let me stop sharing, then reshare. All right, how about now?
Better.
Okay, thank you. So again, our priorities for July: family plans and add-a-lines. Still want to focus on those. Helps your 3MR. EBB, the emergency broadband benefit program, is what we're going to talk about for the rest of this call. Also, just a reminder, SDDN, still very important. We have over 30% of our customers on the old network. We need to get them onto the new network ASAP. That January 1st deadline is quickly approaching, and 3 out of 10 of our customers are still on phones that will not be supported once that network is shut off. So make sure you guys are focusing on that. And lastly, a reminder to focus on your value-added services like protection and international calling, bundle protection, and with every line you sell. All right, so let's jump into it. I'm going to skip ahead a few slides and get into the bread and butter, right? So there's 2 plans for EBB. We have the mobile broadband plan and the handset plan. Now, at launch, the big focus was on mobile broadband. You know, the kind of the orders that we are pushing out is focus on mobile broadband. Don't worry too much about the handset plans, because we were in a chip shortage issue and the inventory just wasn't coming in to satisfy customer demand. So we wanted to use the hotspot first. Well, that order has kind of changed now, so it's either or. We are now pushing the handset plans on EBB as well. So $0 to your customer. They do pay a setup fee on the handset, not on the hotspot, but they get a year of basically what's included on our $50 plan. So unlimited talk, text, data, 35 gigs of high speed, then it throttles down to a 2G speed, and they do give that 12 gig hotspot. So that's the handset plan you can offer, just like the mobile broadband plan you guys have been pitching since its launch, which the mobile broadband, $0 to your customer, no setup fee, a one-time $25 charge, plus tax for the physical device. They get a year of hotspot, which is 35 gigs per month. No bolt-ons on either of those. You can't like add protection on the handset. It's just whatever comes on the $50 plan. So just want to let you know, both of those plans are available and you should be selling both. Now, I would definitely still leverage the mobile broadband plan first over the handset, because your stores are specialty stores, right? If they're coming into you, they're looking for a boost. It's not like a grocery store where you have 30 aisles of different products. If they come to your door, they're looking for a boost phone, but they may not be looking for that mobile broadband. So that is going to be my lead offer. But if they do not want that, I would pivot to the handset as a great option. So the quick, easy method. How can you do this in 10 minutes? Well, good news is no more tablet is needed in order to get your customers signed up. You can do this all online. You can do it you can do this on a phone. You can do this on your computer in your store. If you have a tablet, great. You can still use it. It's a great tool for your customers to be able to type their information in a nice form-fitting factor. But it makes it really simple, right? We're going to go to NatVer first, the national verification, which is at www.checklifeline.org/lifeline. I strongly recommend you save that to your desktop as EBB Step 1. This is what I'm having all my doors do, and they're cranking them out. They're getting an average of about 4. I think we saw numbers this morning, about 4.5 EBBs per day, right? So a lot of opportunity here. So you want to go to checklifeline.org/lifeline as your first step. I won't fill this out due to time constraints, but just want to let you see what the website looks like. You basically, as soon as you go there, you're going to click your state. So in this, for me, I live in Illinois. I would click on Illinois, click on Get Started. And keep in mind, you want to put, if a customer gets benefits, you want to put the state they receive their benefits in. So you're going to fill out your customer's first name, last name, their date of birth. Now, this is what I wanted to show you, this identity verification section. It says social security number. You can put the last 4 of your social. Then there's a tribal ID, and you scroll down. There's driver's license number. Do not use the driver's license number. It will override your selection, because if you look closely at the identity verification section, it says select one from the following. So what we found is the fastest is the last 4 of the social security number. So you're going to want to fill this out. Just put your last 4 of the social security number in. You're going to click on next, and then it's going to ask you what steps the customer qualifies for. So do they have, do they get SNAP? Do they need any help with food, clothing, and shelter? Do they get food stamps? Do they get WIC? Any of those programs. If they do, you will select that option. If they don't, they can still qualify based on income. So if their income is less than $20,000 for the year, they can still qualify by clicking on the box that just says low income. Now, so I've had experiences in stores where one time that went through right away. The next time it asked for documentation. It asked for a year-end pay stub. Well, we sent in the W-2. It wasn't year-end, but it was our most recent. Asked for W-2. We didn't have that. We had the most recent pay stub. We submitted that. And within 10 minutes, we refreshed it, and it did approve that as our form of clarification, and the customer got approved. All right. Now, step 2, what I want you to bookmark as step 2 is after you've ran Nat Verifier, you want to go to the Boost Mobile site, which you can get there if you go to boostmobile.com, you scroll down to learn more about broadband. But to save time, because this is the way to do it in 10 minutes or less, save this bookmark as step 2, and I'll send this deck out to your DCI account managers that can forward it. But the links in here, the www.boostmobile.com/plan/ebbp.html and some other stuff after that. But I have that bookmark so you can quickly enter that in, save it as EBB Step 2. All right, that's going to take you right to the form where it says free internet, and you can check your eligibility. So when your customers are on there, you simply click on check eligibility. You're going to enter the zip code of where they live at. Click on start, and then enter the information as needed. Now you'll see here, are you already enrolled in NatVer, National Verification Application, National Verifier Application ID? You want to enter that in, and you can kind of make sure you're approved the quickest way possible. We did NatVer first, so once you complete NatVer, you would have gotten that application ID, which you then go to the Boost site, put it in here, enter the customer's information needed, click on the CAPTCHA and type in the information showing you're not a robot. So this always can kind of change. In this case, it's YCN8I. You put that in, click on continue, and fill it out as needed. Now, what I want to show you is kind of the steps to get your code. So once you do you've done NatVer, you're in the Boost site, and you have gotten your application completed, you're going to need to get your code. So let me show you what that's going to look like.
All right.
So you're going to get your enrollment ID, right?
We're going to go to My EBB Status. We're going to select the Do You Have an Enrollment? We're going to go ahead and add the enrollment on there in addition to the last 4 of the social. And now, great.
All right, so it's just this easy. If you're up on the screen right now, so you've done NatVer, you went to the Boost site, you completed the information, you got your enrollment ID. You have to, once you have your enrollment ID, you log out, you log back in. With that enrollment ID, you're going to come to this screen right here. It'll show qualified for your customer. Now, here's the catch. Right now, you guys do not have the promo code, right? So you need that promo code. If you see on the top right where it says service activation, and there's a little circle with a line through it like a power button, kind of like an Xbox icon if you're familiar with those, but it's a circle with a line that says service activation. Once you've done that there, then you've done the Boost site. You log out of the Boost site, log back in using that 5-digit code or 6-digit code they got. You'll see service activation. You click on that, and that will give you your promo code, as you'll see in the rest of this video right here.
You see that the customer goes from pending status to qualified status. This is when you're going to go to service activation, and you're going to go ahead and get that promo code.
So once you clicked on service activation, you're going to get these extra details on the bottom. You scroll down to promo code, and you will see the promo code you're going to use in the sales portal to get that $0 plan to show. Now, major key, when you're on this screen and you have your promo code, you're ready to do your activation, but don't close this screen out. As you see on the bottom left, you see activation confirmation, phone number and start date. And there's 2 boxes to check. So at this point, you now just go into your sales portal, you do your activation as you normally would. When you get to the part that asks for the rate plan, you're going to enter your promo code. You enter that information in, activate the device, but the last thing you want to do is go back to this, enter the phone number that was assigned to the hotspot or the phone if it was a phone number, click both boxes and click confirm activation. So it's that quick and that easy to get these done following this method. There's no pictures of your customers. There's no pictures of yourself. This is by far the fastest way to crank these EBB applications out. So I want to show you just a couple more quick videos that are only about a minute long to show you how that process is going to work. So what I want to show you in this is starting in ePay, your flow, right? So you have all your codes, you're ready to activate. You go to your new single line, you click on activation.
I want to take a second.
Now, this is what you're looking at here. This is what's going to be explained in the video. When you're in ePay, it says apply promotion. Do not put any promotional code in this box. The promotional code is only going to go in the sales portal when you are physically selecting the hotspot or the phone to activate.
Enter the promo code in this section. This is not where the promo code goes.
So you're going into your Boost portal just like you always do. A regular activation. So activate, Boost activation. Sometimes ePay can take a minute for it to load. And then just like you would any customer walking into your door. Standard activation. If it was a port in for a phone, they will get port in price and you select port in, but it's going to be standard for your hotspots, obviously, not going to be a port in. Enter the zip code in, verify it. Then you're going to get to the last step. Here we go. So when you're adding your device, you scan in the ESN of your hotspot or your phone. And then it's going to ask you to confirm, per usual. Now, once you've done that, you'll see the hotspot pop up. You're going to add your services. And this is where you get your promo code box. So when you're adding the services, and I've seen this mistake made as well, you'll see a $50 35 gigabyte Wi-Fi hotspot plan. Well, we don't want that because it should be free, right? Now, the good news is they did bring this back a couple weeks ago. Previously, we couldn't activate a hotspot for a customer. But if you have a customer who is not approved for the 35 gig plan, but they still want it, they can sign up for that for the $50 per month. Now, for your customers who are approved, on the promo code box, this is where you enter in your approval code. So once you enter that in and I'll hit apply, you're going to see that $0 plan pop up. And so as soon as you put that in, whether it's a phone or a hotspot, a $0 plan is going to pop up. You're going to click on that, continue. You can't do any add-ons. That's no big deal. Continue your activation as normal. And then again, just remember to go back to that one page from the Boost site and enter in their phone number assigned and the date. But it's quick, easy, painless way to get these activations out ASAP. All right, guys. So that is it that I had for today. I will open up. Do you guys have any questions at all on this process? All right, if there are no questions, I want to thank John again from Motorola for hopping on. Thank you guys for joining the call. We'll look to have another call. We do these every Monday at noon with different topics each and every week. So please make sure you join us next Monday and look forward to a great week of selling. Thank you guys so much. Have a great day.
Thank you so much.